If your results didn't last, then your diet didn't work for shit. What's going on, legend? Angus Beef here. Thanks so much for just clicking on this video. Massive fist bumps for you. And yeah, as you would have seen from the intro, today's video is all about the whole idea that if your results didn't last, in other words, you finish your diet, you regain the weight back within a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, well then understand that it's like what you did didn't work, like it doesn't mean anything, right? Now, the reason why this isn't because you're a failure of a human or that you're doomed to always have this extra weight or anything like that. The reason why this happens is because, well, what you got to remember is that our bodies, like, they have a thing in place which is part of it's in a defense system, right, to be able to keep you safe, and that is called basically getting it to a stage of consistent homeostasis. So when you are grinding in a diet, basically, oh, you're having a drink there, Simba. When you're grinding in a diet and basically you're hammering like super low calories and ramping up the exercise and stuff like that, obviously this puts you in a massive energy deficit, and naturally your body is going to adapt through metabolic function to basically try and I guess stand against the process of you grinding it into the floor, and this is just basically to keep you alive, right? So when you finish the diet, obviously this is where typically what happens, we revert back to past behaviors and we start eating more food, we start moving a bit less, and then next minute, before you know it, we have regained all the weight back.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Now, society doesn't really have a weight loss problem. To be honest, fam, it is easy to lose weight, right? Like, it's not hard, right? It can be made hard through people overcomplicating it massively through all the shit that we see people doing and trying to like do a whole heap of different stuff at once and making things unnecessarily just too complicated, right? But the big problem that people seem to have is the maintenance part, right? This is why when it comes to when I work with people, I'm so passionate about that part. I love it so much, and that is why typically when I actually start with someone, we actually start with that. So it's like I take them through a period of about 1 to 3 months where we are just like, fuck targets, fuck all this restriction, whatever, fuck everything. Let's just get you eating again and just experiencing what it's like to enjoy life for a little while, where you're not dieting in any way, shape or form. You're just basic eating and enjoying life. So it's kind of like a process of beginning with that end in mind, so that way it sets us up to be able to potentially reverse diet for a bit or transition to maintenance calories and actually introducing some tracking before we then start leaning down in terms of eating in a deficit again, but in a much more flexible manner than what the person might have been used to in the past, right? And what's really cool about this is because it's been done in a way that doesn't include any sort of restriction or any sort of bad foods, good foods, can't eat these foods, must eat this fucking small list of 6 food scenario, right? This is what allows for someone to be able to adhere with relative ease, and then basically throughout a well-structured deficit timeline that includes maybe 6 to 8 weeks or 6 to 12 weeks of eating in a deficit, 1 week break where we're eating at maintenance again, rinse and repeat. It means that it sets the person up to hit their goal weight in a nice manner that's maintainable and enjoyable, and then we come out of that to be able to transition into that holy grail of maintenance. And that's the thing, fam, like that's something that isn't really taught these days. Like, you see a lot of companies and they've got their before and afters, and the person lost all this weight in a really short period of time, and then that company would have gotten the before and afters, but then there's no real emphasis upon the reverse diet after or any sort of maintenance strategies to get the person to maintain what they achieved. Meaning, if you look at the bulk of these people, right, if you connect with them and ask them where they're at 6 months from that before and after, or 12 months from the before and after, chances are is that they're probably now working with someone else going after the same original goals. In other words, the diet didn't work for them.
Fuck.
Right? If you can't maintain it, your results don't mean shit. And this is why if I were you, like if your background is just going through that scenario of restrictive program, chronic 8-week shred, whatever it might be, finish it, lose heaps of weight, try to go back to normality, can't maintain what you did, regain weight, jump back on the wagon, I'm looking for a new thing again, rinse and repeat. Like, if I were you, put all that shit aside and just focus on trying to find someone who can coach you to be able to just put an end to those sort of cycles. Because to be honest, fam, like, that's the only way that I was able to get my shit sorted as well. Like, I'm someone that used to be a binge eater, I'm someone that used to struggle with food big time, I'm someone that used to go through those cycles that I just said. Like, there was once a point in my timeline where things were so shit in terms of my relationship with food, where I would wake up with vigor for the start of the day thinking, fuck yeah, this is my day to kill it, I'm gonna absolutely smash all my meals, it's gonna be sick. And I'm going through the day, and then come the end of the day, or when I finish my last meal, obviously I'm feeling like I'm still feeling hungry, I'm not getting enjoyment from what I'm doing, I'm looking for that little fucking, like, you know, glimpse of pleasure, right? Or like a little bit of release, if you will. So I just be like, oh, like, I'm just gonna have a little bit of Nutella, like, should be right. Or like a little bit of ice cream, then I'll put the tub back. And then of course, because that food had so much novelty attached to it, because I'd seen it as bad and that I can't eat it because it's not on my diet, whatever, that is when I would then binge on it and I would eat the whole pack, feel sorry for myself, keep eating, and then start again tomorrow. Like, that was my story for a while. And yeah, the only way to get out of all that sort of shit is basically just to unlearn and let go of as much restriction as possible and step into moderation and basically, yeah, just like a new way to see food. And this is what I stand for in terms of all of my, you know, fuck dieting and stuff like that, anti-diet geared coaching. Like, sure, a lot of people might see tracking calories or these different sort of tools that I speak about as restrictive and stuff like that, but it's all about the mindset that you associate to it, and yeah, just like the coaching around it, because it's just a tool, yeah. And it's something that I believe heavily in, and allows me to be able to take someone through a great process when I'm coaching with them, where we can control how they're feeling and we can undo a lot of that metabolic adaptation and reboot a lot of things and get them nice and healthy to then be focusing on controlling how they look. Like, it's all very fun and exciting. But anyway, I hope you got some value from watching this video. As the theme was, if you didn't maintain your results, well then the diet that you did didn't work. Okay, if you have any questions or comments around this, let us know. And yeah, big love and thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care.